There's only one way for you to end up in a place like this. And by that I mean this silent and infinitely hopeless place I find myself in after I was shot. It's clear to me that I'm here because of the acts of violence I carried out while I was alive. Now the only way to get out of this purgatory, is to relive and to regret every one of those acts. The process begins with my very first murder. In the mob, you're not a made man until you carry out an execution. The family decides who gets whacked, but it's up to you to plan it and to execute it. When I got the assignment, I carried it out like a real pro. I took a shower, I got dressed real nice, and I drove to my guy's address in Burbank. I parked across the street. I went into an Italian restaurant and I sat near the window. I remember this whole thing perfectly because I ordered a calzone and it was fantastic. You see, they made it with provolone instead of mozzarella, the same way my mother would have made it. As I was paying the bill, I saw my Mark come out of his condo. He climbed into his BMW, he got on the freeway, and he drove to a place called Yucca Valley. Where the fuck is Yucca Valley? He went a few more miles and he stopped in front of a place called Pioneer Town. I guess they made a lot of these old westerns there. I parked my car and I slept. The next morning I followed him as he took a leisurely walk around the historic old buildings. He passed a place that was supposed to be a saloon. Then he passed a place that was supposed to be a blacksmith. And when he reached the place that was supposed to be the undertaker, I slipped my Louis Vuitton belt around his neck and dragged him inside. When he finally croaked, I rolled his body behind a cabinet. I casually walked outside and closed the front door. I brushed the dust off my pants and slipped my belt back on. Looking back now, the only thing I regret about taking that man's life is that my belt never fit right after that. It had stretched or something, and eventually I had to throw it out. And those things ain't cheap.